The next financial essential that we want to look at is tax residency and what you can and cannot do. When you're working remotely, you can work around the corner, so you don't have to go in the office. Now, it's a personal opinion whether your boss wants you in the office or wants you to work remotely, but post-COVID, it's accelerated the process where people are working remotely, using technology, using mobile phones and computers from any location or from a communal hub or base. And when you're in the same tax jurisdiction, so you're living and working in your country of tax residence where you're doing the work, then everything is hunky-dory, there's no problem. And in the UK, you have a pay-as-you-earn system that deducts your income and your social insurance taxes at source. So that's all very good. When you go expat and your remote working is across border, different rules apply. Now, if you're working abroad for a short period of time, so you get an agreement from your employer to work abroad for 1 or 2 or 3 months, then that's okay. But once you go beyond the short stay rules, a couple of things start applying and it becomes complicated. First of all, in the EU, they don't like people staying beyond the short stay rule. You either have to have a Schengen visa or get out or have a resident permit. And expats are familiar with this. To get a residence permit in any country and in the EU, you need a permanent address. For example, you need to either own a property or be able to rent a property for the full year to get that permanent, to get that resident permit and allow you to stay beyond the 90 days. But if you do stay beyond the 90 days and you are working, even if your employer is in another country, you can continue to work. But if somebody comes from the UK, from a UK company or any other country to work abroad, say in Cyprus, they have to bear in mind that employer is obliged after 90 days not to be deducting tax in the country where you're doing the job. So if you're doing the job in the UK and you're paying income tax, national insurance at source, that's fine. If you work remotely in the same town, that is fine. If you move to West Wales or the north of Scotland or the Yorkshire Moors to work remotely, that's still okay. But when you go across border into another tax jurisdiction, Ireland, Cyprus, Portugal, Spain, then only a short stay of working abroad is allowable for the employer to keep deducting you and taxing you as an employee. Beyond that, one of two things can happen. The employer can have a branch office in that location and have their own tax jurisdiction, or they can have an employer of record service provided locally so that you pay local social insurance and local income tax. Now, on an individual basis, that can be quite expensive, but deals can be done and Product can offer that service to clients. And on a bigger scale, then it depends whether the company has got an office in the country in which you want to live. It's quite a complex issue, depends upon your contract, your employer, but if you've got the control of your personal service company or your partner in that company, then you can make those changes and treat yourself in a way that suits you when living and working abroad. So if you want to work remotely across border for more than a short stay period, more than 90 days, you need to get a new tax residence for that work to be abroad. For more help and guidance on that, contact us at productpartnership.com.